Hey, good evening, Travels with Dottie, and we're gonna go for a little evening walk together. This is a kind of nice time in the evening. It's March 5th. It's about 6:42 p.m. and I'm checking out the sunset happening here behind my rig. Dottie's with me, going for a little walk. Well, a lot of people ask, so just what do you do every day out there? You know, you're retired, and part of the answer there is I would say I'm semi-retired. I work doing counseling sessions, and I maybe do 7 to 10 per week. So you want to consider that semi-retirement. So that many hours, maybe 10 hours a week, I'm actually I'm working. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. So people ask, well, what do you do all day? So there's 10 hours a week. And if you average that out, what's that? An hour and a half a day. That's not a lot. Some days I might do counseling for a couple hours. On a big day, I might do 3 or 4 hours, and that'll mean, the other days in the week are maybe an hour, and many days none. So the question becomes, what do you do when you're not working? And people may think, well, you have a YouTube channel, you spend a lot of time videoing. No, I don't. I hardly any time is spent editing. As you can see from my videos, if you want to talk about the cinematography of my videos, you're going to have a lot of very legitimate complaints. I don't edit. I don't take special care shooting. It's pretty haphazard because it's more of a hobby. Like this, I edit everything on my phone. I upload on my phone. I do my thumbnails on my phone. If I spend 5 minutes editing the video you're watching now, I'll be absolutely shocked. So, how do I spend the rest of the time? Well, let me think through today. I think today I got up at probably about 6, and it takes me about an hour to kind of put myself together and get all cleaned up and ready to go and take all my vitamins and make a cup of coffee. And then actually my last video shows you what I did. I walked outside with this camera, and I walked over to some campmates and had a little impromptu interview with them. And that, the whole thing, after I turned off the camera and visited for a while, that took maybe a couple hours total, which brings us up to, about 9 o'clock. It probably took an hour and a half, something like that. And I had a little session at 9, from 9 to 10. And then I was pretty much free the rest of the day. So I had to empty my black and gray tanks. And if you haven't seen that sort of amazing process, is if you look right here, I have this gray thing is a 36-gallon tote that I put in the back of my pickup truck, and I use this blue hose off this, what they call a macerator pump, off my sewer connection, and I pump that waste into that tote, and I drive it to the dump station, dump it. And because I was totally full, and I can have up to 50 gallons of black and gray water, and it's a 36-gallon tote, do the math, 2 trips. So that took until about noontime, I would say. And I'm struggling now to remember what I did when I got back. I did a kind of a little rewiring solar project on the roof yesterday, and I needed to zip tie a couple of things up there. So I went up on the roof and I did that. And I'm going to have to pause. I'm going to have to pause for a minute and think. I'll be right back. So this is I'm really struggling to remember, but after I did because I had to wait in line for a while, it probably took an hour and a half to dump the tanks. And while I was doing that, I multitasked. I did the editing in the last video while I was sitting in line. And then I came back and I hung out with my friend Danny a little bit, who's next door to me, and behind me was Marlo, who was putting shocks on his rig, and I kind of stuck my nose in that to see what was going on, and talked to them for a little while. And I had a conversation with my accountant about my taxes and did a little tax organizing stuff. And by that time, it was about 3:30. And I noticed Danny was sitting outside, so I grabbed Dottie and I grabbed my chair, went over to Danny's camp, sat down next to him with Dottie, and his wife came out and gave Dottie a few snacks, which she loves. So low-calorie snacks, right, Dottie? Right, Dottie dog? So, and then other people saw us out there in camp, and before you knew it, there were half a dozen of us sitting in a circle, just chatting up a storm until Dottie's dinner time came at 5 o'clock. So I went in and fed Dottie and reheated some leftovers for myself and watched a few YouTube videos, and then decided, hey, it's a beautiful sunset. It's beautiful outside. Let's take the camera out and just shoot a little video. And that brings us up to right now. So there's, clearly there's more left to the day today, but I go to bed pretty early. I'll go back in and maybe I'll watch a streaming series, or maybe a little YouTube. I'll just kind of flip around from thing to thing on the TV, and I'll get tired and I'll climb into bed. I'd say 8:30, 9 o'clock, which means I'll be up and awake about 5:30 or 6, and kind of do the whole thing over again. And I get it that this doesn't sound very exciting at all, does it, Dottie? Dottie, doesn't sound exciting, does it? Yeah, Dottie agrees, it doesn't sound exciting. But it's amazing. It's peaceful. It's wonderful. I'm surrounded by friends. I'm surrounded by some of the most beautiful landscape anywhere in the world. And right now, in this moment, there's nowhere else I'd like to be. And this lifestyle is not expensive. It's easy to achieve. Look at my neighbors here. There's a beautiful fifth wheel. Danny and Deb have a beautiful fifth wheel. These things can be expensive, right? Like Danny's beautiful truck here that he just got. But, I have a much smaller place, a much smaller truck. There are people that have big budgets out here next to people that have almost no budget. Lisa, who I introduced to you, she was in the previous video, and I also did a video on her. There's Tim. He's getting ready to head out tomorrow, so that'll be a little bit sad thing to see Tim leave, but I'll be in touch with him, and I'll definitely see him again next year in the same spot. Anyway, so Lisa, she's the one that got the new trailer and the new truck. And before that, she was living in a car. Well, a little bit more than a car, but less than a van for 18 months. on, you know, a very small budget. And now she's got a beautiful trailer and a beautiful truck. You know, there are people out here that work full-time jobs and make really good money. And there are people that are out here on Social Security disability payments that are less than $1,000 a month, $700-800. And they find ways to be able to afford this lifestyle. And they're having the same experience that I'm having right now. You know, think about what I described to you, what I did today, and what did it cost? I didn't even get in my truck and drive anywhere today. And I experienced this really profound joy during almost every minute of the day today. This is kind of my favorite spot here, where this is kind of the big signature cactus that is probably in every one of my sunset photographs that I put up. And there it is, and the fading sun in the background. Isn't that gorgeous? But, you know, every day is a little bit different. I'm running a little low on fresh water, so tomorrow I'll be heading into town minimally to get another 6 gallons of salt-free fresh water, and probably to stop. I have a package that was delivered yesterday, and all it is a new blade for my Braun electric razor, and I could certainly wait many days for that. The old one's still good for a little while, but since I'll be in town anyway, I'll pick it up. I can't think of any supplies that I need, so I'm going to go into town and get 6 gallons of water for 4 quarters and pick up a little tiny package. So that'll make tomorrow different from today because I'm driving somewhere. And tomorrow, counseling sessions? None, zero. I got nothing on the agenda for tomorrow. And I have no idea what's in store. I know Tim's leaving. I'll probably do one of my traditional, hopefully I'll be there when he leaves. I'll do a short of him driving away and talk about how sad I am that a friend of mine is leaving camp. But I was going to say you get used to it. You still get sad, but what you get used to is the idea that it's the saying is in nomad society here is you say, see you down the road. And what that means is it doesn't mean goodbye. It means I'm going to see you again on the road at some point. And we'll get together again. We'll spend this wonderful time together again. And it's not a final goodbye. Dottie is very much dawdling. Look at her. She has no desire to go back home right now. So I'm going to give her a little time to do what she wants to do. And we'll see. We'll keep an eye out, though, because this is evening's coming fast, and there are coyotes out here, Dottie, and I'm sure you don't really understand that, but I sure as heck do. Dottie. You know, if she could talk, she would tell me about all the fascinating scents she's experiencing right now. And she would tell me the reasons that she really needs to stick with this. But it's kind of white powder on the ground, so I'm a little cautious about it. I don't know what this white powder is everywhere. But it could be someone was camping here and put some insecticide out or something. So we're not going to let Dottie sniff it. Are we, Dottie? So I'm pretty happy with the performance of my lithium batteries and my solar system out here. The system was pretty haphazard for a little while. I had these ground panels that go through a line into my solar controller, and I have a bunch of flat panels on top of the roof, and up until a couple days ago, half those panels were being joined on the ground with a line and all going in together. So if I wanted to utilize the panels on all the panels on my roof, I would have to hook a line up from the roof to the plug on the other side. So what I did was I routed everything on the roof through the same lines, so they're together. I don't have to plug in something on the ground. So especially in the summer, there's likely most of the time enough solar power on the roof, so I can leave certainly most of these, 2 out of the 3 of them, in the truck for the whole summer. And on cloudy days, I may have to bring one of them out, and maybe that 100-watt folding panel. And you might wonder, hey, what's this other panel over here? What's that going to? And that is going to just a reserve power bank that I have, that the only time I use that power is for that macerator pump that I talked to you about. And you know, I guess they call it people call it a solar generator, but it's made by Energy. It's an Apex. It's I think it's 100 amp hours. It's behind that door there, and I can plug stuff into it if I need to. But this is out all the time, and it keeps that little guy at 100%. What else can I tell you? There's my little generator, my little Honda generator that I rarely ever need because of the efficiency of solar. And this is my little windbreak that Jim and Daryl bought me for my birthday. And there's this is the tripod torch, which is a new kind of propane campfire. And there was someone in the comments that asked, hey, what did you ever do about making that stable? And you can see, if you look there, that's a painted black piece of plywood with, you can see here, there are bolts coming out of it with wing nuts. So it's secured to that. When I want to put it away, I just undo the wing nuts, fold everything up, and it still is very compact. So whoever asked that question, there's your answer. So it is practically night now, so I'm gonna sign off here in a minute. And here I am. I thought you might want to see me too before I signed off. A little bit of sunset in the background. Dottie came up and joined me on this couch, and the explanation for the couch outside here is my friend Marlo had this in his Class A, and he hated it. He wanted a really comfortable recliner, so he bought one, pulled this out, put it in the recliner, and said, Rob, you have a pickup truck. Would you mind taking that to the dump for me? And I said, certainly. I'll take it to the dump first thing middle of March. So just leave it right outside my place. And that's where it's been ever since. It's very comfortable. It's become Dottie's favorite place. And it's a nice place for me too. So anyway, that is the video for today. And I know I say this every time, but I mean it every time. If you're watching my video, I am so grateful that you're given that gift of your time to watch my stuff and listen to me talk. I'm really grateful. Thank you. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.